Mayor Andy Burnham making another push to be Prime Minister. Can he do it? People thought he messed up at the Labour conference. I don't think he did. This is all part of the strategy. He knew he was going to get a backlash, but he had to put his hat in the ring. He had to start telling people, I'm here to save you. I'm here to save your seat. I'm here to save the Labour Party. That's what he was doing at the Labour conference. Walked away, people thought, with his tail between his legs. No, he knew he was going to take a battering, but that's what he did anyway, knowing he had to do it. And now Clive Lewis, MP, has said in Parliament he's willing to step down from his seat to allow Andy Burnham to contest a by-election, to become an MP, to then become Prime Minister. That's how desperate Labour are at the moment. Now, Andy Burnham, I think, would be worse than Keir Starmer. Andy Burnham is far to the left of Keir Starmer. But to be fair, we're not sure what Andy Burnham believes in, because Andy Burnham believes in whatever you want Andy Burnham to believe in. He's that type of politician. He'll say whatever he thinks you want to hear. Now, from what he's been saying lately, he's a far left politician. He wants to spend an extra 40 billion to get out of this black hole. You heard that correctly. He wants to spend the 40 billion to get out of the black hole. That's how economics works. I'm sure it does. I want to be a millionaire, so I'm going to spend all my savings now so I can become a millionaire. This is the left. The left never understand economics, never understand human behaviour. But let's get back to him being Prime Minister. Please excuse this interruption. Anglophobia. Why do they hate us? Is it jealousy, envy? I can see the advantages. I mean, regardless of what you think of Andy Burnham, he's got a great reputation. He's got great PR. He's a good communicator. He comes across as human. All those are pluses at the moment. Coming across as human is a big plus for the Labour Party. He doesn't come across as an idiot, even though I dislike all his policies, and he's done nothing for Greater Manchester. Nothing, by the way. We'll get into that in a minute. He's done nothing. But he's not a lunatic, doesn't come across as a lunatic, keeps out of a lot of the woke stuff, even though he does support it. He's kept away from it all. If he became Prime Minister, Labour would get a big jump in the polls. They'd get a jump. It would then go down a bit, and he would do better than Keir Starmer because he's better communicator, because he's better at PR, because he can stand in front of an audience, he can stand in front of a camera and have a conversation and think on his feet. That's how we're judging politicians and future Prime Ministers now. Can he think on his feet? Can he speak to people? He can. Both of them. PM contender. That's how low our politicians have fallen. We don't ever expect them now to be honest. We don't expect them to be clever. We don't expect them to be visionaries. We just want them who can speak to the public. And Andy Burnham can definitely do that. Absolutely, he can. Is he the right person? I've no idea. I think Labour are done. They'll take a bit longer to die under Andy Burnham, but I think they're dying just like the Tory party are, unless there's drastic change that will take years and years. There's nothing he can do to save him in the next election. He may save some seats though, so they may still lose, but instead of going down to 80 seats, they may go down to 120 seats. So that'll be a saviour for 40 MPs. They may be the MPs who want Andy Burnham. Look at my polling, I'm going to lose my seats. But the pollings have asked, if Andy Burnham's Prime Minister, would you vote Labour? And looking at that, I might win my seat again. That's what those MPs are doing. Now, Andy Burnham's track record hasn't got one. Junior Minister or something under Blair years. He's got a bad reputation for the NHS stuff. Then he became Mayor of Greater Manchester. What's he done? He promised to end... Sorry, the word he used was eradicate. He promised to eradicate rough sleeping in 3 years. He's had 8. And it's just as bad today as it was 8 years ago. He did get it down at the beginning because he spent billions. But it isn't down anymore now. It's back to where it was before. So he's failed on that. Policing. The policing went under special measures under his watch. And don't forget, the mayor is the police crime commissioner. So he failed on that. And his only surface level success at the moment are the yellow buses. The yellow buses is basically nationalise our bus system with private companies paying them regardless how many people they carry. It's being subsidised by taxpayers and council taxpayers, and it looks good. We've got, yellow buses, they're all branded. Is it going to work? I think that's why he wants to leave now, because from what I've read about this project, unless he increase bus numbers by 30%, which is a lot, the project is not viable and goes bankrupt. So he's done the work, he's got it running, he's painted them all yellow. They're called Burnham buses, they're called now. Yellow Burnham buses. Bit better than Boris Spikes. He's called them Burnham buses. If he stays too long, that's where the problems come into this bus project, and he'll be blamed for that. So he might as well leave before the problems. And we're getting more strikes now by bus drivers now, because they know when I strike, it embarrasses the mayor, and the mayor wants to be prime minister. So every time we strike, they cave in. The mayor says, cave in, pay him more. I can't afford to look bad when I'm trying to be prime minister. So Andy Burnham's got a long way to go though to become prime minister. And something's also happened that he never ever planned for, which was Reform UK. There used to be safe seats for Labour politicians. That's a safe seat. You'll do well there, Andy. We'll give you that safe seat. There is no safe seats anymore. There isn't. And Reform will throw everything at beating Andy Burnham. Everything. So Andy Burnham might not even win the seat. That's his Achilles heel now. Because if he gets to Parliament, as an MP, he will become probably the next Prime Minister. He will. But can he get to Parliament? Keir Starmer's team is blocking him. They don't want him. Of course they don't, because he's going to stab Starmer in the back. They don't want him. But can he win a by-election? Can he? I've no idea. And that's the gamble he takes. Because if he goes for it and he loses, can he stand for mayor again? Will the people have it? You abandoned us. You keep saying you don't want London politics, but then you got offered a chance and you ran and lost, and you think we're going to vote for you again. So it could be the end of his political career. It could be. But who doesn't want to be Prime Minister? Who? I'd love to be Prime Minister. The changes I'd make, and even if it all failed, at least I had a go. So of course he wants to be Prime Minister. He's a rich man, he doesn't need the money. So if it's the end of his career, it's the end of his career. He'll get a well-paid job somewhere. But I think he's going to go for it. He's going to go for it. But Labour may go up in the polls, but he will not affect the country positively. His policies, his commitment to the far left, none of it will be good. But we will see. Politics is interesting at the moment, and let's see what Andy Burnham does. And if he does run and wins, we'll have a mayor election in Greater Manchester. I stood the last 2 times. Will I stand again? Will I stand again? Who knows? Please subscribe, and I'll see you next time.